What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boss to Boss. R&R rants and recaps. Let's get it. All right. Glad to be here. In front of all of you. Honestly, I wish all of you were here with me too. That'd be pretty fun. Like an interactive show or something. You all just chilling here in my little basement office. If you're watching the video, you can see. And yeah, we should just record something together. Every single one of us. That'd be pretty cool. Actually, I wonder if they've ever done that. If they ever did a podcast with just like, I'm sure that's been done. I'm sure. But just like 20 people in a room. It'd be a little hectic in here in this little room, but you get the point. All right. So what's everybody been up to? I know I've been up to a lot. Still moments of up and down, that's for sure. Hodgepodge has been really taken off. I hope you enjoyed our live episode the week before when Steve and I did it at a bar. It's Atlantic Bar and Grill. I know the video part didn't work. We unfortunately did not plan the video part out too well. So there was only actual podcast audio recording that got released. So I'm sure you heard that. It might have sounded like, oh, we were at this cool spot, man. Check this out. Check that out. Essentially, none of that video ever got released because we totally just messed up and we recorded it on the phone, and then the file was just way too big for us to even get it over to a computer. It was in 4K. It was like, I don't even remember, 10 or 20 gigabytes or something crazy. It was such a crazy big file that we had no way of getting that thing over to the computer to post it. So it was just it was a fail on itself. But you know what? From every fail you get like that, you learn. You get up and you learn. Sometimes it's not so easy to get up, and I can think of many times when I couldn't and I didn't want to. But you know what? Here I am. I'm still here. I get up. I learn. We're gonna learn. Steve's gonna learn. He learned a quick way. He invested some money into a nice big camera that we're going to attempt to reuse next time we do a live episode. So hopefully we won't have that same issue again. But yeah, things are good. You know, just making mistakes, learning, running Hodgepodge. Still working on that course. I'm trying to develop a course where it's going to help people kind of get out of the... I don't know if I really spoke about it here yet. I'm working on a course to help people kind of get in the right mindset to get out of their 9 to 5 and start up something, try something, go somewhere else. You don't have to get out of a 9 to 5. You could go somewhere else too, but you know, don't get stuck in that same job. Like when 30 years pass by and you're like, yeah, I got my 30-year bonus. Hell yeah, that's not fun anymore. Who wants to do that? I mean, power to you. If that gets you off and being somewhere for 30 years makes you feel like you lived life, then power to you. You know, you were a simple man or woman. You didn't need much to please you. And, you know, life must have been very good. And maybe that's exactly what you needed and wanted. And heck, I'm jealous. You know, I couldn't do that. I could barely sit in one place to record a damn episode for 15, 20 minutes, let alone stay at the same job, which definitely you won't see me back at any job anytime soon. I mean, ever. And I was just talking about this. If you're on the Boss to Boss community on Facebook, I was just talking about this. The word job and entrepreneur, the two words that I use a lot, two words I hear a lot. They're becoming, it gets me passionate. It gets me going. When I hear a job and someone's like, how's your job? How's that job going? Man, it gets me going because I hate jobs. I hate jobs. If you have a chance to start something up, do something else, please do it. Please just don't go another year working your job. But here's the difference. There's jobs and then there's careers and there's something you actually want to be a part of, and you're making something happen. You're making something happen with your life. That's different. You know, I'm not putting that category in the jobs category. I'm putting jobs in the I clock in, I clock out. I hate what I'm doing. I hate my life. I barely get by. I look forward to only the weekends. I rage. I get fucked up. I come back in the next week, same thing over and over. Those are the jobs I'm talking about. Please don't keep doing that. Please don't keep living that kind of life. And otherwise, but if that's what you like and that's what you love, then I mean, I'm not going to stop you. But I know that looking where I'm at right now, I was just having a talk with someone in one of these mastermind groups that I'm in. Shout out to Travis Chappell and his mastermind. I met a gentleman by the name of Steve Arnesian. He has an awesome company called the RE Investors, and he's based out of Canada. And he recently came out about his entrepreneurial journey. It's only been like a little over a year, but he had a whole crazy, breakdown where he fell into depression. He was suicidal, and he just wanted his story to get out. And we were talking about it, and I connected with that story because I had a similar story. I went through a really rough patch about 3 years ago when, life really turned upside down for me. I wasn't sure. That's kind of how this podcast, began too. I wanted to talk about that more, and as I get more comfortable, I'm going to share more and more. But life wasn't so easy, and I too was, depressed, suicidal at times, and I had weak moments, really weak moments, and it was so tough. I didn't ever imagine myself to be where I'm at now, and we and him kind of talked about that today. Actually, we had a call. Me and him spoke for the first time, like one-on-one, outside of this mastermind group. Which that's amazing in itself. Like in these mastermind groups, you meet so many people that think like you, that share similar beliefs and meanings, and it's just so amazing to connect with people like that because it's so hard to find people like that in this day and age, especially amongst your friends, because those friends have usually things stay together. In friends, usually people are how they are. They don't always evolve together. Sometimes you have to look outside to evolve, and it was a full circle with Steve, because we were talking, and he brought up, I brought up how I really connected with his post he did about his whole past, and he brought up to me, he's like, well, think about where you're at now, and then 3 years ago when I was like at my lowest, where I was sitting there, alone in my apartment, drinking, just, miserable and not contemplating what's worth it anymore. Is life worth it? And here I am 3 years later, running a business that's, in six figures now, 6 trucks, employing, over 10 people, employing and contractors, running this podcast, which has been amazing, getting to connect with more people, with you, just working on my interpersonal speaking skills, and working on a course about becoming a business owner and quitting that 9 to 5 and being so passionate about something. And newly engaged, like, holy shit, all this has happened, and it's 3 years passed by. Like, if someone told me this was going to be me, I wouldn't have knocked them out. I'm trying to act like a badass here. No, I don't get in fights. I usually am the one that will talk things through. But I would have been like, you're kidding me, you're joshing me. And I would have just told them that, I would have probably just ignored them, and that's it. I wouldn't have believed it. But here I am. I stayed on course. I listened to a lot of self-help things. Like, some people make fun of self-help and they don't believe it, or they're like, everybody's just pushing the same message. Well, you know what? That message worked for me. And if it worked for me, why can't it work for you? People say, you got to think positively, do this, do that, have different daily routines, work out, eat healthy, whatever it is. Try something new every week, make yourself do something, dare yourself to do something. And these things add up. They really do. They truly do. And it's unremarkable. It's truly life-changing and crazy to see where you can end up and what you can be doing by just listening to something positive for once, taking that negativity, tuning it out in one ear, out the other ear, and putting that positive influence, whatever it is, whether you're listening to like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, the millions of other influencers that are out there, whether you're just here listening to me, these little things make a difference. Positive reinforcement it's a real thing. The more you hear it, the more you believe it, the more you picture it, these things will happen. Sooner or later, they will happen. And then they happen for me. I just imagined things turning around. I imagined things getting better and better. And I always pictured myself, being somewhere more in control, with more power, being able to help other people, like through the business with our donations and charitable events we do. I imagine these things. I imagine traveling more. I've traveled here and there. I imagine traveling way, way more. One day that's all I want to be doing is traveling and working remotely. And I know that's going to happen. I have zero doubt about it. I imagine, being with someone, being with now a fiance. I imagine being with someone, with her. I imagine eventually having kids. I imagine eventually one day having a bigger family. I imagine all these things, and I know it's going to happen because I know that's the mindset. It's all mindset, and it's so important. And if you ever check out Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, and it's all about thinking. It's all about mindset. I've had that one. James Whitaker, amazing guest I had on. He had Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy, and that was a movie, a book about him, interviewing people that followed Napoleon Hill's steps to thinking and making things happen. And it's crazy. It's crazy how powerful your mind is, and if you think something, you believe it, the better the chance it will happen. And if it doesn't happen perfectly the way you imagined it, there's certain things that will add up, and you'll kind of, see along the way what mistakes you made, what you chose. And I was listening to something or watching someone, and they discussed how, I think it was Jeff Bezos, I think he talked about this, and he brought up a very good point that as you get older, you start realizing that this might have a lot to do with his recent divorce and the crazy turnabout, that happened in his life. But he mentioned that life is just made up of, I'm pretty sure it was him. It's made up of a whole bunch of different choices that you make. And every single day when you wake up, you choose to wake up at 6 a.m. or you choose to snooze in for an extra 2 hours and wake up at 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. or in the afternoon. And that choice alone in itself, which sock you put on, whatever it is, will affect the rest of the day and the rest of your future. And it's just crazy. If you think about it, it's a web of different points and connections and endpoints, and these little choices you make every single day. Just what toothpaste you buy, whatever it is, the different kind of shirt you choose to wear. Maybe someone stops you and loves your shirt, and next thing you know, they oh, hey, could we sign you up to be a model, or I don't know. They sign something. You connect with them, boom. Life-changing connection right there because of the shirt that you wore that very second, and you caught their eye because you had a nice neon-looking pink-blue shirt on, and they fell in love with it. Whatever it is, life-changing connection. Next thing you know, you're with them in Los Angeles making crazy things happen. I don't know. But you get the point, right? You get the point. Where you're going to be one day is built up of all these different little points and connections and choices that you made over time. And please make the right ones. It's impossible to always make the right ones. It is, but at least diversify and make the different ones. Don't keep falling in the same circle, the same lame choices. Make something crazy. Make something extreme happen, because with risk comes reward, and that reward is worth it. Let me tell you. I haven't reaped all the benefits. I haven't. I'm not going to preach to you or anything like that. I haven't. But every time I do take a risk, it's usually sometimes it sucks, but a lot of times there's some nice rewards and cool things at the end. So with that being said, I hope we talk further, hope we talk more, and hope you crush the rest of your week. And we'll be talking again soon, everybody. Another episode of Boss to Boss Productions Rants and Recaps. Talk to you soon. Peace.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.